Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to some more, well, World of Tanks stuff. And in this video, I'm gonna show you some machines I don't usually. This is the ISU-152. Lots of people like this thing, because it has a giant 152mm gun that slaps people in the face for 750 at tier 8, which is quite impressive. I do not like this thing, because it's unreliable. In fact, actually, since they got rid of the BL-10 gun on this thing and gave it a different gun, I actually prefer this tank. The BL-10 just used to annoy me anyway, and I'd rather have the extra hit points, frankly. So, this first game, it's not really about me, if we're gonna be honest. I mean, sure, I'm the one driving, but it's not really about me. It's about, you know, you get those games where maybe it looks like your team are winning heavily, maybe it looks like the enemy team are winning heavily, but either way, it looks like the game's gonna go one way. You're pretty convinced it will. And if you talk to lots of people, they'll tell you, well, game's lost, give up, go home. But the thing is, if you don't give up, and you don't go home, and you just push it a little bit, and just keep going, keep shooting, trying to do your thing, trying your best to win, sometimes the scores reverse. Sometimes your losing team starts winning, or sometimes the enemy are doing that and your winning team starts losing. So you can really get a lot of switcheroos going on. And we're going to see that in this game. I'm not going to tell you what the result is, whether it's a win or a loss. I'm just going to tell you that we're gonna have some swings and roundabouts. I'm not really going to play amazingly in this game. I'm not going to do anything fancy. This is essentially going to be camping quite hard in the ISU. Whilst I'm not a fan of this machine, I have actually been having rather more success with it and having rather more fun in it as of late. Because the thing is, you don't really have the hit points or whatnot to be like an assault tank destroyer. Ooh, lurva shot, lurva shot. Ooh, 762. Nom 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 nom. The other reason I'm showing you this replay, I should probably mention, is yeah, light tanks. More on that later. You'll see what I mean when it happens. So, a nice shot there into the lurva. It only just clipped him, but a hit's a hit. That's 762 damage. I am not going to say no. Our team is down 0-2, however, and one of the tanks we've lost is actually a Progetto, which is a very nice machine and a shame to no longer have. And, well, there goes our VK. Ooh, WZ, 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 pew! Critical damage! Yay! I love these guns. And this is why the gun on the ISU frustrates me. It's just so unreliable. Anyway. Oh, there goes another one with 0-5 down. So this game is not getting off to a particularly good start for our team, having lost, well, a third of their number without reply. Swinging around now to see if I can help out this beleaguered Udes against the approaching hordes. Oh, Progetto has decided to sit still. That's a decision he might come to regret. 757 damage into him, and, well, we claimed a kill back or two, but we've just lost both of our artillery as the light tanks are closing in from the other side. Can we get a shot into this IS-22? Come on! There we go, 682 into him. We actually track him as well, and the Udes finishes him off. So we've done 2.2k damage ourselves. Oh, and we're spotted, because there's an LT-432 behind us. Oh dear, brown alert moment, brown alert! What are we gonna do? Oh well, I think I'm dead here. Let's just keep shooting and see what happens, and, well, apparently the LT-432 didn't bring a fire extinguisher. There's 1100 damage, and for some reason, you know I mentioned light tanks, for some reason that Batchat decides it's a good idea to hang around until I'm reloaded. Now, if anyone's ever seen Monty Python, they do a wonderful sketch on the art of not being seen. This is Mr. Batchat. He has learned the first lesson in how not to be seen. Mr. Batchat, will you stand up, please? unfortunately, has chosen a rather obvious hiding spot. I know I butchered that quote, but I don't care. It entertained me. And we pick him up with a blind shot through the bush. Like, it was obvious you were going to go there, mate. Try not to be so obvious next time. Anyway, the scoreline's actually a little bit less horrendous. It's now 8-10, given that we were 0-5, I think 0-6 and 1-7 down at the beginning. The enemy team have kind of ballsed this up, and I don't know how those light tanks made such a hash of this. Like, why did you just sit still in front of a dirty great big tank destroyer? It's not as if what the ISU does is subtle or any secret. People know what this tank does. Like, no, anyway, whatever. So, let's just move on, I suppose. We're at over 4,000 damage, by the way, which is nice. We're still 9-11 down, so this may not be a win, but at the very least, we've managed to make this game a little bit closer than 1-7 or whatever it was. I take a blind shot at the bush. It seems the CS-53, however, really has learned how not to be seen, and he is not choosing an obvious hiding location. I love that sketch, by the way. Monty Python's very hit or miss, but for me, that sketch was definitely a hit. Anyway, ELC even 90. That's going to be a very difficult target to hit, and I'm not going to bother. I'm going to wait for somebody else, I think. Unfortunately, he might be able to proxy spot me. We shall see. No, he's not close enough to get the proxy spot in, thankfully, and our ELC even 90 manages to kill him. By the way, as you're going to see later on, our even 90 had a pretty decent game, as he was basically spotting all of the things whilst we shot them. So, scoreline is now 10-11, and the enemy team are probably looking at themselves, going, what the hell happened? How did we balls this one up? Well, I mean, you just held down the W key. You didn't engage your brains at all, and this was the result. You just drove towards camping TDs. There's not really much more to say. If two light tanks are just going to sit in front of a tier 8 tank destroyer while he kills one guy by setting him on fire, takes the, 15 seconds it takes to reload this gun, and shoots the other guy, and then kills the other guy because he goes into an obvious hiding spot. Like, yeah, it's just going to go wrong, isn't it? Anyway, speaking of the even 90, he's decided to go out round back and do something about those SPGs. So the M40, M43 just died, which means the scoreline is level, I believe, for the first time since the beginning of this game. And, oh my god, our Udez killed their Udez, and suddenly we're winning by a kill. And what I don't understand here is why the CS-53 hasn't done anything. You know, he could have come up and got off, let's say, one shot at least into one of us, and put us on lower health, and RELC picks up the other artillery, so there's a nice little Pascucci's medal for him. And, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to speed this along a little bit because, to be honest, we don't actually end up with a lot more to do. And by a lot more to do, I really mean, well, anything to do. I don't want to push forward because that Scorpion or CS-53 could be out there somewhere, and this game is still not yet won. However, our light tanks sweep ahead, and that CS-53 has just been sat down there the whole time for some reason. I'm not really sure what he thought he was achieving there, and our light tanks just swarm a sucker him, and the even 90 picks himself up. His 4th kill. Shout out to you, sir. Jacob Sky. Very nicely done. And that just leaves the Scorpion, who has retreated and is now dead. So there we go. Like, what? What are you doing? Anyway, there is a middle ground between holding down W and YOLOing forwards and splitting up and sitting still not doing anything. There is a middle ground here, and you guys are not taking advantage of it. Anyway, let's have a look at the post-game stats. So that game ended up being enough for first class mastery, arsonist for burning that light tank to death, fire for effect, bruiser, and high caliber. That was a bizarre game, but hey, I thought you might enjoy it. We actually finished second on our team by experience, 4,301 damage done, 2 kills, or 1,076 base XP. Shout out, like I said, to our ELC Even 90, 2,000 damage, 5 kills, 1,127 base XP from him. Our IS-3 also put in a good show, 3,000 damage from him and a kill. And the enemy team, well, they really balls that up, didn't they? 9 shots fired, 7 hits, 6 penetrations there, 4,301 damage done, 2,201 of which from longer range. 1 hits received, it penetrated, and a little bit of splash. 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 destroyed, 172 assistance damage, and there was holiday ops because this was over Christmas time, and a mission that I completed or something, so even with a standard account we actually made a pretty respectable profit. There we go, that was the first game for you to warm things up. Let's go and have a look at another one. Here we go with our second game then, and this time we are joining Wolfwin in his ISU 152. And can I just point out, Wolfwin, like seriously, do you just go for the most horrendous, like, it's purple. Why is your tank destroyer purple? With a camoed gun, like, what is this? What is this? Anyway, I don't know. I give up. Regardless, he's in his ISU 152, and we are here on Ensk. This is not your typical tank. Oh, that was filthy. This is not your typical campy tank destroyer map. This is one of the smallest maps in the game, with one of the quickest game times because it just smashes the two teams together. And whoever wins, wins. Straight off the bat, though, like, Wolfwin's, well, that Pershing clearly had taken a bunch of damage from someone, and Wolfwin's like, well, that's a nice kill. Shame if someone were to hit you with 750 average damage, wouldn't it? Yoink. So there we go. He is, by the way, in a 3-man platoon with a WZ-132 and a Belesk. Yes, I know, it's pronounced Barask. No, I don't care, and yes, that was a pretty much unaimed shot that did damage to and tracked a very unfortunate T-49. But I'm not going to concentrate too much on his platoon mates, or indeed what the tanks are called, because this game is not going to last very long, because it's on Ensk! Tier 9 match, so Wolfwin isn't even getting super duper uber favourable matchmaking, and apparently he's not even aiming, really. Big fat hit there into the front of that poor beleaguered IS-3. RNG is definitely favouring him today, and this is the reason that some people love tanks like this, and this is the reason why I despise them. They're just unreliable. I like my tanks to... well, I like to know basically what they're going to do. I like them to be dependable, I like them to be reliable. You know, one-shots are great and all. But, sometimes this gun will just drive you around the bend. It was the same when it had the BL-10 gun, of course, but anyway. Wolfwin's actually up to 2 kills, 2,500 damage, and this game isn't even 3 minutes old yet. Oh, that IS-6 is finding out why Belesks are unpleasant. Oh, dearie me, and he's on 877 hit points, so, you know, Wolfwin's never going to one-shot him. Well, I mean, he could have done, but RNG's already been sufficiently favourable to him. That would have been a bit ridiculous. Oh, does take an unpleasant hit there, though. Slightly low damage roll from the Malshan, 490 being average, but a higher than average damage roll from the IS-6B, so it probably all balances out, if we're going to be honest. Scoreline is 6-4, by the way, so this game could still go either way, if we're being honest. And unfortunately, of course, Wolfwin is now a one-shot, trying to pick out a shot on the Batchat 12T. Oh dear, picks out the shot in third person, can't even really see the guy, and still blaps him for 768. Oh, anyway, scoreline is 9-4. We've basically just got the enemy artillery up north and then a glut of tanks down south, and that's about it. Scoreline's 9-4, so it's looking like the friendly team are probably going to have this one in the bag. Scorpion is... and the Batchat are discovering, again, why the Belesk is such an unpleasant tank, but, Well, we may well get back to that in a moment. AMX 5100 is just rocking up to clean house at this point with his 6-round autoloader. Wolfwind's being a little bit careful, which is entirely understandable because he has 290 hit points remaining, but he needs to do something because this game is finishing rather rapidly. Full health FV4202, thank you AMX, you are rather in the way, and a full health Stritzvang. Oh dear, let's see what we can do about either of those two. Even if Wolfwind dies, like putting another shot in here would be a really nice result. Hello Mr. FV, how are you today? Aiming is for chumps. Who needs to aim? We'll do damage, we'll track the guy, we'll give him a really bad day. Let's give him a love bump. Oh no, the Chrysler GF picks up the kill, and there we go, we're done. Under 5 minutes, the enemy team's dead. Welcome to Ensk, everybody! One of my least favourite maps in the game for exactly this reason, but it can occasionally be funny, I guess. So, there we go. Let's all gaze in wonder at Wolfwind's purpleness. Oh look, I'm purple. Not unicorn purple, literally purple, like my tank's frigging purple! Anyway, let's have a look at the stats for this one. So that was an ace tanker, bruiser, fire for effect, high caliber medal, and actually enough for Wolfwind's second mark of excellence in the ISU 152, so he can't play it too badly, and presumably enjoys it, though you're never quite sure. I have my fair share of tanks with 2 marks on their gun barrels that I didn't really get on with, but anyway. Finished top of the team. I mean, that shouldn't really come as a huge surprise to anyone. 4,914 damage, 2 kills will do that, especially when you're in a tier 8 in a close range fight on a tier 9 game. 1,240 base XP there. His buddy in the Batchatillon Burlesque, I don't care if that's not how you pronounce it, finished second on the team, still over 1,000 base XP. The enemy team, well, there was an Object 252 that did 0 damage on Ensk. I think that kind of sums things up, really, doesn't it? Not really too much more to say. 7 shots fired, 7 hits, 7 pens for that 5,000 damage. Not much from longer range, just the cheeky kill on the Pershing at the beginning. 2 hits received, 2 penetrations. The armor's not really going to do much on that tank. 525 assistance damage though, which is something, I suppose. 48,500 credit profit. 4 minutes 31 seconds. The end. Oh dear. Anyway, it's done. Hope you guys enjoyed that feature of the ISU 152. If you did, by all means feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel. And as ever, I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao ciao.